Thank you, man. I did it again. Thank you, Joanne. When I played the video, the sound doesn't click back. Once again, guys, we are at Computer Pile Author Interviews, and I'm excited about this interview because this one is my son, my firstborn, who has written 4 books, and they are getting better and better each time. So as we bring him on, I want you to welcome him to the screen there. How you doing, Jawan?
Howdy, howdy, howdy. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Pretty good. I mean, I was really looking forward to this interview for a long time. When we started this author interview series, I was like, hey, I want my son to be the first one, but you declined. But you're here today. I just want to say you did such a great job on Prime Day. I'll be honest, that was our most sales that we've ever got in a
Mm.
while, and a lot of people attribute that to you. They say, "Get Jawan back."
No,
So
it
I
was a
like,
total team
wow,
effort there. Total team effort.
yeah, total team effort. Well, I tell you, I'm excited for you to be here today. And as we get into this interview, did you want to open up with any welcome or say anything to anybody special or whatever?
I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been out there supporting and liking the show and following along. Keep supporting us as we continue to grind and get you guys the best deals and the best products. So thank you guys so much for tuning in today.
That's right. Thank you. Jawan is doing a great job with our videos. If you take a look at those videos, wow. Matter of fact, we're going to demonstrate one here later on during the show. He just finished up. So I hope you pay attention to that. But we're going to jump right into it. If you guys are on Amazon, look at the carousel at the bottom. All of the books are in the carousel. So make sure you click there and look at the book. So Jawan, how many? Tell us about how many books you have right now, and what do you have planned for the future?
So right now I have 4 books. Started probably back in, I believe, 20. Actually not sure when I published the first one. Maybe 2017 or 2018. I put the first book out, and so far I've been putting one book out every single year.
Wow.
I just got into writing by journaling, just random thoughts, feelings, and honestly, I started with the WordPress. So a lot of people don't know you can start a WordPress blog site for free. You can make it whatever you want, and then it'll be .wordpress.com. So I started one of those, just started putting stuff out there, and at the time it was locked. So then I unlocked them and allowed people to read them. And I got such great reviews on, hey, this is some deep stuff. This is real good. You should publish a book. So that's exactly what I did. I started formulating them into a book, and then going ahead and putting out my first book, which was The End of Summer.
There you go. Your first book. Let me highlight that in the carousel since that's the first book. The
Yes.
End of Summer.
It's
All
also the
right.
biggest book.
That's the biggest book.
Yes.
I've highlighted that in the carousel. Now, I was just so amazed. I do remember you doing the blog stuff. I
Mm,
remember looking at it, and I remember some comments coming in. I'm like, wow, interesting comment. And so you turned that into a book.
yeah.
Wow. Now, I wanted to know, how did you come at the title of the book?
So for The End of Summer.
Yeah.
So if you take a look at the cover,
Hmm.
a lot went into this cover. So as you can see, there's a light at the end of the tunnel there.
Hmm.
And this is him inside of this, dark path, this dark world, and he's walking towards the end of the tunnel. So instead of naming it The End of the Tunnel, I named it The End of Summer. Now, originally, I was gonna publish, and also in the cover, this guy has a light bulb, so the light is inside of him as he's walking to the other light.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
and also if you look really closely, you won't be able to see it on the camera, but if you buy the book and you look close, there's actually stars at the top of the book here for
Okay.
space and things like that. So there's a lot of imagery going on in the cover. But honestly, the first book, The End of Summer, the next one was going to be The End of Fall, and so forth and so on. But it didn't work out like that, so I ended up getting a different title to come to me for the next book.
Okay. Wow. So, man, I tell you, hitting messages everywhere. You got to pay
Yes,
attention.
yes. These require you to really pay attention. There's a
So
lot of
what was I guess, the theme of the book, of your first book? What was the theme? Or it was just
it's
random thoughts?
yeah, it's a compilation of random thoughts and emotions. That would
Okay.
be the theme. So, I talk about money, jobs, relationships, just random thoughts about things that are going on in the world, presidents, politics. It's all over the board. Just whatever came to mind, I put it down and tried to, come up with a cool, swanky way to write it down.
Okay. All right. So, can you tell me, so your second book, what was the name of the second book?
So that one was actually called The Last Rose.
The Last Rose. All
Yes.
right. All right. Tell us about that title and how did you get derived there?
So The Last Rose, as you can see here,
All
it's
right.
one rose in the hands.
The Last Rose.
And this, at the time I wrote it, was kind of at a point where I was tired of, relationships and things like that. And I was like, this is it. I'm
Mhm.
done. I'm not going to do any more kind of relationships. And this book is just a compilation of, heartbreak and how I felt in those relationships at that time. And, just disappointment after disappointment. And hey, the last one is gone. I'm just going to be single for the rest of my life. So that was kind of my mindset at the time.
At the time.
Yeah.
But, what changed?
I found someone real special that came into the picture. So,
Okay. Found someone special. And yeah, and I just hear you recently got engaged. Is that right?
I did. Yep.
Sorry, ladies, he's off the market. Well, that's awesome. I'm looking forward to having her in the family. So
Hmm.
make sure you tell her we appreciate that. So so as you said, as you wrote this book here, and you said that was it.
Yeah.
No more relationship.
Yeah.
Did you learn something in writing this book about yourself?
I did. I realized that every failure or every failed relationship really propels you for the one successful one, because you only need one successful one.
That's right.
You only want to get married once. And
Mhm.
when I think back to those previous relationships and all the disappointments that I had before, each lesson I learned prepared me for really who I am with today and who I am today as a person.
Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. And that's one thing I'm learning about journaling. I started journaling. It is amazing to put your thoughts down on paper, and when you go back, it's really a way of releasing.
Hmm.
Sometimes you want to tell somebody something, but you really can't. But you can
Yeah.
just go to your journal and really write it out. I don't know if you've seen the previous interview, the last one I did with the author. She wrote her book starting from journaling.
Hmm.
So, folks out there, if you want to write a book, start journaling. And
Yeah.
as Jawan said, he gave you a great tip how you can get a free blog site and start, putting your thoughts down.
Yeah, and truthfully, I think everybody should be able to publish a book. Everyone has thoughts, they have feelings. One of the most popular books in the world, besides the Bible, is Anne Frank's diary.
Oh,
All
yeah,
kids read that in
true.
school. It's literally just a diary of her thoughts, and and it got published. Someone found it and they published it. So I think everyone has something in their mind that other people can relate to, and you never know. Like I said, with the first book, I was just putting it out there because maybe someone's feeling the same way that I was feeling. They could read
Mhm.
the book and say, "Hey, I'm not alone in this world." So you really never know,
That's it.
what you putting your thoughts and emotions out there could really help someone do. So
Right. Yeah, that's what the previous author said too. I mean, what a great story. Now, was there any I'm still in this Rose book. Was there any part of the book that you found hard to share, but you shared it anyway?
um honestly, I kind of got over that after the first book. Um, you know, the first book and the last book that I wrote, I probably thought the most about what people will think about me when they read it.
Right.
Um, but as I've gotten older, I don't care. People are gonna think what they want to think, regardless of how sensitive you try to be, or regardless of how you try to step around certain topics. I choose just to hit them, head on, be abrasive with the topic. And yeah, some of the stuff could be a little difficult to read, but it's not meant for everyone to read. That's something else I've learned. Everything isn't for everybody. So no, the book isn't for everyone to buy. It's for those who feel like they need to buy it and feel like they can receive the message. If you're not going to be open minded, you're going to read the book and be like, oh, this guy's got problems. He's crazy. You're not really going to understand where I'm coming from. But that's part of the message, and that's part of the brand that I'm building with the books that I write.
Right. I know when we support you, obviously. I read that first book. I like, what is going on with this book? It was all over the place. And then I will say it has got much better, but it was a little different for me from the type of stuff that I read. But
Yeah.
like I say, I love it because you're your own man. You decided to go forward. That's what we raised you to be. So that's really good. So what was one of the funnest part of writing? I'm still on the roads. What was the funnest part?
Honestly, the most fun part for me is actually when you get all of your materials, all of the writings, chapters, and you're putting it in order, and then
Mhm.
actually being able to hit the publish button. And then
Yeah.
once it says, congratulations, your book is on Amazon,
Woo!
it's nice because a lot of people don't know you can self-publish through Amazon. You get an ISBN number, and that's a
Wow.
real ISBN number that lives forever. Long after I die, if I don't ever publish another book, these 4 books will be here forever.
Right.
So it's just something cool, putting my little stamp on the world at the moment. So that's the most exciting part.
That was good. So you kind of answered my question. How did it feel when you got your ISBN number? How did you really feel? Did you feel
Oh,
like,
great. Oh,
yeah,
great. Yeah,
felt really
it's good.
good?
Everyone should try to, like I said, I encourage everyone to publish a book, get you an ISBN number, and it's just one thing that you can feel proud of. I've helped a few people publish books.
Yeah.
I really should start a service and start charging people to give them this free advice. But I don't mind helping anybody if they want to learn. It's if I learn by myself, it's super easy, super simple, very quick.
Wow.
Well, not
So
quick. It takes time to get it done, but it's fun.
all right. Well, we're gonna ask you some tips about that later on. When did you first realize that you wanted to be a writer?
So it's kind of funny. So I used to write in elementary school and middle school. I was always better in language arts than
Mhm.
math and other things. Creative writing, I was always great at coming up and improvising with different topics and turning it into a story. We
Right.
used to have topics where we'd have one sentence and then you need to turn that sentence into a paragraph. That
Yeah.
was very easy for me. And then, that one paragraph could become two, and then one could be a page. All throughout college, I was really good at last minute writing a 12-page paper. That was very
Uh-huh.
easy for me because I'm able to formulate my thoughts and put them on paper, which for me is very simple, but I found out that's pretty difficult for a lot of people to do.
Yes. Yeah.
But like I say, the courage to be able to actually start those stories, it just came honestly, when Aunt Simp and Uncle James died, I remember listening to everybody inside the funeral talk about, the impact that they left on their life. And I
Yeah.
was like, I got these blogs here. And like, if I died today, what would people remember? He's a funny guy or XYZ. So that's when I really just said, I'm going to go ahead and publish it. That way I can get an ISBN number, have something to leave here as part of my legacy. And
Right.
I had so much fun doing the first one. I just kept on going.
That is good. You kept on going. That's all. That's what you got to do is keep on going. Now, for those people that want to write a book, but how long did it take you to, I guess, to write the book?
So, I'll say this. There's different kinds of writers. I am in a group on Facebook that is like Black Charlotte authors.
Mhm.
And some of these people they write professionally. I'm no professional, I'm just an amateur.
Right.
I see these people, they will churn out a book every month. I'm not that kind
Wow.
of guy. I cannot sit and write and churn out a book every month. So I only write pure off of emotion. or pure off of inspiration. If I have no inspiration, I can't write.
Right.
So I tell people, don't force yourself to try to write unless it's your job. Let it come to you naturally, because you'll get more stuff. You'll be more descriptive. You'll be more precise, and you'll actually enjoy writing. Don't make it a chore. So anytime you get any kind of inspiration, most phones have technology where you have notes on it. Pull out the notes, jot something down, and then come back later. And then after a while, you'll have a whole tab list of notes and different thoughts that you've had, and then you start formulating them and linking them together like a bubble map. We'll get to it later, but I'm working on a book right now, my 5th book, which is the next series of the Vile Shadows. And if you've seen my notes, I have probably about 15 pages of notes just in my phone, sitting ready for me to formulate them all together when I'm ready to go ahead and put it to paper and get it out there.
Wow, that's good advice, man. I'm telling you, he's giving some good nuggets here. Those on Facebook, you can leave a comment. Make sure that you click the follow button. It's pretty easy. That helps us out, guys. Lincoln, just follow. I'm gonna get you, Lincoln. I thought you already was following. Boy, I'm gonna get you, but thanks for following. Tamika put a comment up there. Make sure you guys look at the scrolling down there. There's our store, computerpile.shop. Simply redirects you to our Amazon store. Guys, once you're there, you're on Amazon. You do everything that you normally do. There's no difference, but it helps us. It just shows that, hey, you came through us. We directed you to Amazon. Guys, what we're going to do is we're going to pause here for 1 second, and I am going to let Jawan pick which game he wants to play.
Okay,
we're going to
got
do
a game.
We're going to do a giveaway, and we normally do a Amazon gift card. So if you want to be in the Amazon gift card giveaway, Jawan is going to give you a word that you must type in the chat. Either we're going to take Facebook or Amazon, and then we will enter you in the contest. So I want everybody to participate. So Jawan, what will be the word for the Amazon gift card?
And actually, instead of a word, we're going to see who's really listening out there.
Okay.
Go ahead and put my first book in the chat.
There you go. All right. Well, that's going to weed them out right there. Put the first book in the chat. Jawan, are you going to do the duck race or the wheel?
Let's do the wheel.
Let's do the wheel. Okay, I'm going to add that, and we're going to do the wheel. Jawan decided to do the wheel. I like the wheel. The wheel is pretty cool. All right, let's see here. We have no takers yet. All right, we're waiting for the first book, folks. Jawan, you make it too hard for you. All right, guys, we're waiting for you to type the first book. We got 10 people on Amazon and 3 on Facebook. Come on now. What is Jawan's first book? I think he's giving you the answer right there, guys. There's the first book. If you're watching the screen, there's the name of the first book. Type that into chat. Daryl G said yes. All right, Daryl G, type that in there so you can be entered. Daryl G, we are waiting. We want to get back to the interview. We love to give away stuff for people that's following. So come on. If not, we'll get right back to the interview. All right, Jawan, nobody's typing on. Tamika, are you there, girl? Type the name of the book.
It's the end of summer, people. The end of summer. End of summer.
Type the end of summer to be entered into the contest.
We'll make it easy. Just put summer. You can put summer.
All right, just put summer. All right, Jawan, we're going to come back. Nobody is taking us up on our offer. That saves me something. So, hey, look at that. That's a cool view. I ain't seen that view before. Look at that. All right, we're back. All right. Man, yeah, that's a cool view. I had to play with that when I get some time to play around. So that was the book. So what was your third book's title?
So my third book was actually called A Dire Wish.
Okay, I'm highlighting that now. There you go. All right, so tell us about that. Yeah, you know, how did you get to that title? I mean, this one's got to be deep right here.
Yeah, so A Dire Wish is, at the time when I'm writing the book, with The Last Rose, I'm done with, relationships. I don't want any more. A Dire Wish is pretty much just my last call. This is a dire wish. I really desire to have a relationship. I want a life companion.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it one more go. So this book is kind of a compilation with a few new ones that I wrote, but it's a compilation mainly of my favorite writings, blogs, poems, random thoughts from both books with a couple of new ones as well.
Okay.
So really you could just, get the Dire Wish and you'll kind of have my favorite selections out of both of them, as well as a lot of good nuggets that I also added in there, about 40 different new poems that I wrote in there too as well.
All right. So I'm
Yeah.
glad. Yeah. So this book is about is a compilation of poems.
You're right.
Oh,
That's
right.
poems, right? And that's my favorite ones across both books, as well as some new ones.
Now, not to put you on the spot, do you have a favorite poem in your book that you could share with us? I saw you had the book with you. Could you share one of your favorite poems?
So I'm going to single out one of them.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So I may have one. Let's see here.
I'm putting him on the spot here, but he says he like to do stuff at the last minute. That don't work all the time, does it?
Well, I can't remember them. It's a whole bunch of them. So,
all right, you want to take a minute?
Oh, no problem. Give me 2 seconds. So yeah, I have one right here. Okay. So this one is actually inspired by a very special person. All right. So this one's called The Ocean Express. Oh yeah. So overjoyed when our eyes connect, captivated by sounds of lovemaking, each moment immensely in tune as we intertwine our energies. Now my pleasure senses are overflown, engulfed by our streaming eruptions, Xbox on pause, piles of warm clothes on the floor, roses spread across the sheets, expressions of love fill our faces, singing hearts in perfect harmony. Spectacular it is, forever it will be.
Wow. Man, I tell you, sounds of love making. Man, this is a family channel, Juwan.
That was the first one that I came across. So
wow, man, I tell you, that's deep. So you got more. Now, have you ever performed your poetry at a like a stand-up or anything?
Now that I haven't got the courage yet to do. Do I think I would enjoy that? Possibly.
Yeah.
I did used to go to a lot of spoken words around Charlotte. They have them, they used to have them all the time before COVID happened.
Yeah.
So I did enjoy going there and listening to people perform. Actually, Alan got me going to those. He actually used to get up there and read some stuff from his book.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think maybe down the line, one day I would do that. Right now, probably not, because I'm kind of getting away from the poems and free writes to novels and things like that.
Right. Okay. Wow. All right. Well, we're gonna go back to the game here. I see some more people finally typed it in here, so I'm gonna type their names here. We got Noodles, but I think Daryl G was first. Let me type his name in here. DARYL. Is that Uncle Daryl? I wonder if that Uncle Daryl. What do you think, Juwan?
I don't know.
Okay, you say you don't know. We have Alexis here. L-E. I'm trying to type with one hand, guys. This is really tough when you're typing with one hand. We got Noodles. We're going to put Tamika in there. All right, guys, these are good odds. These are better than lottery odds here. Come on, we're going to give you a few more minutes. Or we had a few more people join on Amazon. Jawan says, type summer in to be entered into the contest. Right now, we got 4 people. All right, Jawan, let's see how good you are in math. What's their chances of winning?
25%.
25%. I could have done that one. Yeah, Jess, Daryl G. Yes, it's me. All right, Jawan, you got the family there that night. There you go. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna spin the wheel here. Let's see. I think I got some music with this thing, but let's see here. All right, we're gonna spin it. Here we go. You got a 1 and 4. Here we go. Let's
All
see.
right, let's see who gets it. You have a 1 in 4 chance.
Look at
Noodles
there.
again.
Noodles won. I tell you, noodles, noodles, noodles. Well, noodles, what you need to do is make sure you email us at live@computerpile.shop your name and your address. We actually don't need your address. Just send your name and we will send you that gift card. Thank you. All right, back to the interview. I like that view there. Let's sit on this view for a minute, Juwan. I
Okay, no
like that
problem.
view. That's a nice. Now, so the first book was random with your journals, and the second book was kind of the same, right?
That one's more poems. There, I
Okay,
don't.
that
There's
was
no.
more poems.
Yeah,
All right,
there's
and
it's
then okay,
poems.
that one was more poems. And the third one was
It's a compilation of my favorite poems.
okay. Now let's get to the fourth one. Now give us the title of the fourth one and tell us what that book is about.
So the fourth one is called Avowed Shadows. This is the book that I probably, put the most energy into as far as marketing.
Mm,
If you look on all my social media sites, I might have posted about the other books, but I didn't push it as hard because once again, those books are meant for a specific audience, I would say, that are really going to be able to receive the message. Now, this is for pure entertainment here. So yeah, I did my due diligence on it, trying to market it as much as possible. But it's called The Vow Shadows, and
mhm.
it's my first attempt at making or writing a novel. So just a great fictional novel. Obviously, none of it's real, but I used a lot of different outside resources to formulate my own opinion and my
Mhm.
own storyline for different characters that I created inside
All
of this book.
right. Yeah, see, so wow, yeah. So yeah, I see it building. You started with the
Hmm.
journal, you had the poems, kind of a two series there. Now you've got a plot going, you have characters.
Yes.
I got to tell you that you're going to get me excited about that. It's pretty cool just to write something and you decide the ending. You be watching
Yeah.
these movies all the time. Oh, I wonder how it's going to end. Hey, I'm the author. I can decide that.
Hmm.
So you
Yeah.
get a series going. I know these book series, people really get into these characters. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
sometimes characters get killed off. They ask the author, hey, why did you kill off this off? I mean, they
Yeah.
get really serious about these authors. I
I've
tell
had
you.
people actually that have bought the book. A lot of people say it should be made into a movie. And
Wow.
I've actually had a few people ask me, hey, what happened to Sam? Or hey, what happened to this particular character in the book?
Right.
So it's definitely exciting as an author when you get people to feedback on what you wrote. Like, all right, people received the message and they enjoyed actually reading it.
That's right. Now, how long would you say it takes to read that book?
Not to be funny, it depends on your reading level. This book isn't as dense as I would say as the other ones.
Mhm.
I use bigger vocabulary words in the other books. This one's a little more straightforward, a little easier to read. If you really sat down and you're an avid reader, you could probably finish the book in a couple of days,
Okay.
easy. Yeah,
Couple of days. Wow, man, that's good. So, like you said, this book kind of took a little bit longer because, like you said, you normally were writing off the cuff, but
hmm,
this one you had to really plan
yeah,
your really plan.
yeah. And a lot of people don't know. With the first three books, I was a big advocate of doing no editing. Okay,
Okay.
so it's straight streamlined thoughts. These are the raw emotions because I didn't want it nothing diluted.
Mhm.
But this book, I had to go back and edit. I had to go back and read everything. There's a lot of, I could be honest, there's a lot of these that I haven't actually gone back and read myself. And then when I do go back and read them, I'm like, wow, I actually wrote that. That came, from my brain.
Right.
So this one took a little longer, especially I was writing the book and then, mom passed. So I kind of had to think if I was still going to put the book out or not. So that kind of took some time off of it. because I would
Yeah.
have put it out a lot sooner. But you know, it
Right.
did take time, and like I said,
Yeah.
I enjoyed going back editing,
Yeah.
making sure everything was copacetic, and making sure everything makes sense and aligns with what I
Right.
was trying to send the next trajectory for the next book on.
Yeah, as you mentioned your mom, we had Tamika on. She was our last author, and she kind of delayed hers because of that as well. But your mom was an avid reader.
Hmm.
I mean, I remember she had bought this novel and made me read it. Dave, I don't have time to read. I don't have time. I read that thing, man. I couldn't put it down. I was just looking for the. No, that's it. Was so exciting. I mean,
Yeah.
I can see writing a novel with characters can be very, very fun. I tell you,
Hmm.
that is really cool. I had a good question, man, and it just flew off my head. That's why you got to write it down. Oh,
Yes.
I know what it was. Now, Jawan, you are also have the founder of an organization that is really doing really good, a nonprofit. Talk to us about your nonprofit and kind of what
Yes.
you've done over the years.
Yeah. So, we run a nonprofit called Be Bright. You're the treasurer on that board. So, pretty much what we do is a lot of different things. We help the homeless. We do backpack giveaways, clothes drives. When before COVID, we used to do things in the nursing home every Christmas, and also we went to Haiti twice. One time we took 250 book bags, and the next time we took 180 pairs of new shoes for the kids in Jacmel. And it's so Jacmel, and then there's Rodai, which is a village maybe about an hour and a half away. They didn't really have a lot of shoes, or a lot of kids didn't have shoes, so we basically gave all their schools new shoes. So that was pretty fun. It was a changing experience. And every year we do try to do something for back to school as well. So we'll be ramping up to get ready for that coming soon. Last year, I think we did about 50 or 60 book bags filled with materials. So we'll be looking to do something around that again this year as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. I'm kind of blessed to be on that and just to see you mature and help folks. I mean, you had the whole family out helping. Matter of
Yeah,
fact, you took DeAndre to
maybe.
Haiti as well with you. Now, was that your first time out the country? I know you went before by yourself. Was that your first time out of the country?
Yeah, the first time I went, it was to Haiti. And that was a rude awakening. If you've never been outside of the country, I strongly recommend. And you know, for self development for people, I highly recommend trying to do one missions trip or one trip outside of the country where you're going to give back.
Yeah,
It's fun to go to, Cancun, Aruba, Toronto, these other places,
yeah,
Miami, but go where the less fortunate are, because you're going to be so much more thankful for the
right.
things that you have and the things that you don't have.
That's right.
So I definitely recommend it. It was a great experience, and I learned a lot about myself as well that trip.
Wow, I know when you took DeAndre the second trip against my better judgment. But, he had to learn, he came back from that trip, as you said, Jawan, so appreciative of
Hmm.
what he has.
Yeah.
I'm telling you and that's what it's all about. Now, what was the purpose of you starting your nonprofit?
It's all about, trying to give back, trying to make a difference. One question I ask myself pretty frequently is, if I died today, what would my legacy be? And that
Yeah,
kind of goes back to the reason why I published the first book. My goal is to build Be Bright up. If I could do Be Bright full time and write full time, I would be the happiest in my life, because that would be the two things I would want to do the most. Um, just to give back and to make a difference in people's life. It's not much, to
mhm,
give someone some clothes, or to give someone a
right.
coat, or to give someone a meal for a day. But if you continue to do that over time, it does make a difference, and your footprint that you leave on the earth gets a little bigger.
That's it. That's it. It's all about, helping others. I think once you get that, you got it all. It's
Hmm.
not about you. Unfortunately, our society teaches us it's all about you, get what you
Yeah.
can be. But as you said, if your soul is required tonight, what's the difference going to be?
Yeah.
Did you leave a mark, or You know, the scripture says your life is a vapor. You're here for a short time. And that short time, what did you do?
Yeah.
Wow. And I love it what you said, Jawan. You know, you have your ISB and you left a message. Now let me ask you a question. You know, I'm going to ask it. Do you ever have any thoughts of writing any spiritual books?
You know, right now I'm focused on a certain type of genre of books right now. Like I'm focused on fictional books that are going to entertain and kind of get people's mind thinking how I'm thinking on these books. I like to try to compare myself to like a Edgar Allan Poe, those kind of books. I want to be the black one of that version. So I think that's a genre that, with my skill set, I'll actually be able to go far in and get people, you know, more apt to listen and actually read the book. So that's kind of where I'm going right now. Is that something I could do down the line? Of course. You know, you never know. I never thought I would be writing horror novels, and here I am today.
There you go. Wow. So what, yeah, well, I guess that you answered my next question. You beat me to the punch. What surprised you the most about your book writing? What
Yeah, that I'm
surprised you?
writing a horror novel. And the fact that I'm actually going to write a sequel to this book. Um, Never would have thought I would do that. You know, I thought I would just stick to poems because poems are easy. You know, you can write a
Mhm.
sonnet. There's a lot of different style poems. You can write a haiku. You can write a bunch of those and put them into a book. That's easy. But actually formulating a plot, characters, their emotions, and making sure you stick to that character the whole time, and then making sure everything aligns together. It's like building a movie with words.
Yeah.
And I kind of write my books with the hope that maybe one day we'll look at it and say, hey, let's make this a movie. It's a great idea.
Wow. And you know, I don't, you know, when you told me you was writing this book, I got to be honest with you. I thought you were joking because I mean, you're so busy. Every time you're busy. So how in the world did you get time to write?
Technology. Once again, I give you guys a tip. Anybody who knows me, yes, I am pretty busy. I do a lot of different things. The notes on my phone literally have my books because
Okay.
I always jotting down. If I'm sitting down, if I'm waiting on a cup of coffee and I get some inspiration, oh, I'm gonna write this down. If I see, if I'm watching First 48 and I see detail of a crime that I really like, I'm gonna go ahead and write that down and then add my own twist to it so I can, you know, reverse it for my own book. It's always just inspiration. There's a lot of times I'm on my phone, I'm not texting, I'm actually just writing notes for my book. Like I said, right now I have about 13, 14 pages of notes for the sequel to my book right now that I'm going to be
Wow.
putting down here soon. So goal is to get that one up by the end of the year, but I'm not going to rush it. Take your time, make sure it's a good product when you put it out there.
Okay, I'll definitely take your time. So you would definitely say you've grown from your first one, right?
Oh yeah, the first one, like I said, copied it from the blog, put it there, posted it. Now, would I change anything that I did? No, heck no. I think, you know, publishing it that way worked for me, and it gave me the most raw emotion possible, which is what I was going for. But take your time when publishing a book, because once again, it's there forever. It's your ISBN number. So, you know, if you put out a book and the product isn't up to par, you know, people are gonna, that could leave a bad impression on people, and that could also cancel some of your viewers or readers later on.
That's true. That's true.
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, you got to be careful what you're putting out
Yeah.
because you have a reputation.
Hmm.
Your reputation is everything. It precedes you. So
Oh yeah.
it talks a lot about you. Well, what I wanted to do was pause 1 second here. We're going to talk to the Amazon folks here. We see some numbers there. Guys, make sure you follow us on Amazon. Just click the follow button. It doesn't take long, guys, because as you follow us, we get more um, products that we can review. And I wanted to actually just show you one of the reviews that Jawan just finished here, and it is quite a riot here. So I want you guys to take a look at this. Take a look at, as soon as I get this thing here, take a look at this video here. I'm going to get it. There you go. So take a look here. We're going to let it rip.
Another yet again Amazon find. Today we're going to be unboxing the MacBook Air, 13.3 inches, M1 chip, 8 GB unified storage, and a 512 GB SSD inside. Let's go ahead and get right into it and see what we get when we open this box. As you can see on the outside, it's your standard Apple box. It's white. It's not too heavy. This is supposed to be a very light computer. Really can't wait to get into this. Ready to do a whole bunch of new editing on it. And apparently this is supposed to be a real powerful machine. So let's see what's in the box. Let's go ahead and get it open here. All right. Got it open, and first thing you see is the Apple computer. I'm going to bring you guys closer so we can really dive right into it. All right, so as you can see, we have the MacBook here. I have already put a case on mine. So as you can see, we have the MacBook Air here. This is the space gray. So we're going to pull this out here, space gray. Once again, nope, I don't think we can hear the video anymore. Yeah. So as you can see here, we have the keyboard. It is a light up keyboard as well, which is one of the cool perks as well. I know a lot of laptops these days are not giving you the lights on the back. Nice size keyboard, nice touchpad as well. All the buttons, all the functionality that you need. Also uses touch. So this is the 2020 Apple MacBook Air laptop. M1 chip once again, 13 inches. Retina display. Here goes the charger. Once again, it is a regular Apple charger with a USB port C on the end with the connection, as you can see there. This is once again the cable that we talked about earlier. We don't care about the manual. The box. As you can see, it's a very sleek design. And there goes the headphone jack. Gotta have that. Very nice size screen, MacBook Air right there embossed on it. Touch print once again, very easy to sign in. All you gotta do is touch it, takes your fingerprint, and signs you into the computer. Alright. And as you can see, once again, it's very thin. 2 ports, like this, 2.8 pounds. It's actually a little thinner than the charging box itself. As you can see, it's about half the size of the charging port.
Man, that's nice.
So very thin, cheap, very nice design by the MacBook Air. So yes, another great Amazon find on it. You can find the MacBook Air M1 chip on Amazon right now. It's a great machine. Like I said, it's super lightweight, coming in about 2.8 pounds. So you barely even notice it's there. It's very small as well, 13.3 inches on the screen, but you don't notice that when you're on it. Also, like I said, with this great laptop is it actually has touch print, so you can actually open it up with touch of a button without having to enter your password. There's dual speakers on the side, so the speakers are here, and the speakers actually sound really, really good. Also, there's 2 ports on this side. They're not USB, so you will need to buy an adapter. And it's USB port C, but if you want like the regular style common USB, you just buy a adapter piece to go on the outside. And you can get those on Amazon as well. Headphone jack, of course. Like I said, it's super thin, thinner than the charger. And that's the MacBook Air. That's the unboxing. I'll give you guys a real review later once I really get to playing with it. But another great Amazon find, the M1 13.3, 8 GB unified storage, 512 MacBook Air. Boom! Another great Amazon find. I'm about to go get some work done right now.
I just put that boom up there. Jawan, as that was playing, I clicked on the product, and guess what? You were on the Apple product page.
Oh, wow.
Man, that was pretty
cool.
amazing.
Pretty cool.
I was going to check it out. They say we're supposed to appear there now. Let me check this out. And sure enough, you was on the product page. Hopefully you sold one.
They need to bring me on as a spokesman. I'll get them right.
Exactly. Well, Juwan, as we wind down this interview, it's storming out here. Man, I like this view. I'm gonna have to play with this. As you said, you wanted you wrote a book because you wanted to leave a legacy. If you could talk about what would you want your legacy to be? What would you want that legacy to be?
Um, a renaissance, man. I want people to look back and say, JT did a lot with the time that he was here.
Yeah.
He made a difference in many different ways. He had a nonprofit. He helped people get jobs. He helped people publish books. He wrote books. He published books. He ran a nonprofit. He started podcasts. He helped his family. He, just did a whole bunch of things. He was funny. He was very talented. I want people to look back and say, okay, this guy did a lot in the time that he was here.
Yeah.
What should I do with my time? Just to inspire. That's probably the biggest thing. So I say all that to inspire. If I had to put it down to one word, I want to inspire others to make a difference.
Yeah, I think that was your mantra for your nonprofit.
Be bright, yeah. Inspire change.
Well, Juwan, I tell you, this has been a pleasure, and we're definitely going to have to get you back. And you celebrated a birthday yesterday.
I did, yeah.
You celebrated a birthday yesterday, so that was so cool. Man, so I tell you, well, Juwan, we look forward to your next book, and I'll tell you what I told you on your birthday. You're my beloved son in whom I'm well pleased. I really appreciate all that you do and look forward to you being the man of God that you have been raised to be. So, Juwan, we thank you. Hang out in the back thing. I'll be right back with you, and we'll come right back. Well, guys, that was JT Speller. I tell you, I got to say I'm a little biased because he's one of mine. So look forward to his next book. Make sure you support him. There are 4 books down there in the carousel. Like I say, just buy the book, gift it to someone. This young man is going places. He has a nonprofit called Be Bright. I'll put that up on the screen. Make sure you check that out. Donate to the nonprofit. We're doing great things. And as he said, I am the treasurer on that. And I hate to say it, I am a little tight with money. I make sure we're running it tight there. So I'll be honest with you. I just wanted to make sure that every dime that you donate goes to the cause. So make sure you donate. And we appreciate you guys for joining us here on Author Interviews. And we will catch you next time.